Darby. So we were just thinking that we needed to do just some life updates because why not? There's just been a lot going on. And one question I always love to ask people, what have you said yes to lately? And so I'll go first because I want to practice what I preach. And so some things that I have said yes to lately are adopt. Mike and I are in the process of getting licensed to adopt. So I don't know what that will look like, but we're just in preparation to say yes to that if that's what the Lord has for us.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. We'll have our first meeting with our case manager next week.
That's huge, Darby. That's a huge thing.
Yeah, I know. It is.
So exciting.
It is. And it's been a long time coming. I was looking back at my journals and saw where I had prayed about this like years ago, but just kind of like a back burner prayer.
Wow.
And so then to see it where Mike's on the same page with me. So that's kind of cool.
That is cool.
And then another one was I applied for this internship with Allie Worthington. It's just like this online media management kind of internship. I actually don't know that much about it. I just saw it, thought it looked cool, applied for it, made the first round. So I just submitted my video for the second round. People going, what is it? I literally don't know what it is, people. This is how I roll, okay? I've just been doing this so long. I just constantly throw things out there and see what sticks, like spaghetti. So those are two of my recent yeses. What about you?
Oh, man, Darby, I don't even...
Or you're in a no season.
Literally, I was going to say, this sounds ridiculous, but I'm committed to saying yes to saying no.
That's good. That's a word for somebody.
Okay.
Say yes
there
to
you go.
No.
Well, it's funny because it's true. There has been a constant conversation with my husband lately, and it's that he misses me.
No, I know. No, I get that. When you're so busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm always just gone to do this thing or that thing, and they're all great things. And so he's like, the answer is not for you to say, okay, well, why don't you go and do things? He's like, why don't you just say no to some things?
I know.
And hang out with me. And so,
literally, Mike was like, "Okay, see you tomorrow." When I left tonight,
seriously, I know. I had on Sunday. I had to prep him. Okay, I've got 2 things 2 days in a row this week, and it turns out last night I had my dates off, and I was home last night. It was great, but yeah, and that's the thing that has so just been spotlighted for me this year is to start saying no to even things that
are good.
Yeah. So we started, Darby and I were a part of a bunco league this year, which Darby quit.
I quit, but I am subbing this month. So
she's subbing,
so
and I'm not doing it. Okay, we're a part of a bunco league, which is hilarious. Number one, because I used to make fun of bunco.
We're there though. That's the age we're in that season.
Are there, but number one, it's so fun, and it's honestly fun just for the social aspect because bunco is such a luck game and whatever, but it's just something to look forward to every month. Yeah. But this month I was it's next week and I don't even know what I have next week, but I was just I know that I have to say no. I just know I've got to say no to it. And so that's what I'm trying to learn. I was talking to my friend Haley. I said, Haley, I honestly I've got to say no to even things that I really want to do, just to prioritize. Honestly, my husband right now, I never want him to question where he's at on my priority list because he's at the top. He really is. And if I'm not showing him that and he doesn't feel that, then I've got to fix that. And so that's what I'm doing.
That's a constant evaluation.
It is. It really is.
It's a hard one.
And so I'm yesterday
So are you not going to bunco next week?
No, I'm not going to bunco.
Finally going. No wonder I'm subbing. Neither is Grace.
Oh my gosh. See? I have FOMO.
That's it. And that's just life, isn't it? Just on life. Right?
Oh my gosh. Well, I was in the house yesterday morning getting ready to leave Mason had a doctor's appointment at 8:30 for his shoulder. So I'm rushing around the house. And there is literally trash stacking up at the end of our counter where our trash can is. because I haven't taken it out. Because Mason, he's got one hand that's good, and it's his left hand, so it's worthless, right? So I'm like doing everything, which is fine. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's what's happening.
Yeah.
And then I go to my bathroom, and Mason and I keep our dirty laundry in our bathroom, and it's like in the corner where like the toilet's right here, and the laundry's right here, and the big hamper, and it is literally just stacked up.
It's like Jenga with your laundry and your trash. Well, for us, it's like the opposite. It's like how much. Mike's like, do you guys just come in here and see how much more you can shove it down?
Oh, I know. Well, yeah. Oh, it's like 4 or 5 loads worth of laundry in that one spot. So like if I put something else on top, there's a chance it could fall in the toilet.
Yeah, that's it. Then you lose. You're doing laundry.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, and there's no food in the fridge. Our house, Mason literally picks up a Walmart bag off the counter, and it is stuck to the counter. He's like, we live in filth. I cannot do this.
I got a good one too. I had JJ's nose sucker from whenever I had to suck out his nose, and I thought I got it all cleaned out, but I guess I didn't. So I set it on the counter, and Mike's like, Darby, literally there is snot running back out of the nose sucker. And I'm like, listen, people, when you ask, how do you do it all? There is snot on my bathroom counter. Right now.
Oh, that's so disgusting.
Something's gotta give.
Seriously, I'm so glad I don't have a TV show following me around, because people would be disgusted by me.
I know.
From time to time. It's like, I just can't. It gets out of control. So I'm saying no, partly too, because I got to get it. Like, I got to get the
hygiene.
House. Yeah. We live in
before your kid eats a bug off the floor.
Oh my God. We eat the worms right now. Are they coming to your house? They're like the little, inchworms.
No, I haven't seen those, but we're getting those water cockroaches.
Oh, cockroaches. Stop. Okay, well, that's worse.
Okay, well, so that's just where we're at. Probably no one can relate.
TMI. Yeah, worms, boogers, laundry.
Yeah. And on a serious note, we had to take Seth to the doctor yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
He's been having this pain in his upper abdomen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so it's been there a little bit over a week. And then, when you go and you take them and they're, feeling around trying to decide what it is, and they're like, well, we just need to run some more tests, which is like your least favorite thing to hear, I feel like, as a parent.
Yeah.
So we had to do blood test and urine test and a breathing test, and we'll find out tomorrow, what it is. I'm hoping it's just maybe an ulcer, or I don't even know what the options can be of what it can be. But, the thing was, we had that little boy that died of cancer. So Mike has a good friend, and his little boy was 6 and recently died of cancer. And so Mike had gone to the funeral a couple weeks ago, and I think maybe somewhere in that too, kind of Seth, he knew the little boy and knew about his funeral. And so last week we were driving to a friend's house, and he said, Mom, do you think that I'm going to die? Because I haven't gotten better. I've just been sick a long time. And and I said, no, I don't think you're going to die. And he said, well, do you think I have cancer? And I said, no, in Jesus' name, it's so hard, but it made me so sad that he has those thoughts.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I know lots of kids kind of can go through those moments when they've experienced a death or of someone they know, but it's just a weird thing.
Crazy.
I know.
It kind of brings you back to reality of
what's important.
Yeah. And just possibilities that say, no, but
well, and it made me think how many people are going through things in their daily lives,
Right.
And so I think as we're talking about life updates, most people aren't getting on their social media or making posts about, well, today I went through this. But if you really step back and kind of, just sit in that, so many people are going through things that are hard or scary or unknown, and that's just your day. That was just one part of my day yesterday. And, we really should practice more kindness. Yeah. And I feel like that sounds so just silly, but
you're right.
I don't know.
I know, because you just really don't know what's going on. You just don't. And so just to assume that everything's A-okay, oh, man. Yeah.
And maybe we don't share that stuff as much either because, we think people will, I don't know, feel sorry or they won't say what we want them to say. I don't know why we don't share more of the hard things we go through. And that's not really that hard, but I just mean it's one thing that you're processing as human throughout a day and out a week, and I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
So there's the cockroaches and the snot on the counter and the worms and the laundry, and then there's doctor visits and
I know.
And whatever else, like hard thing that you're working through. So
well, tell me what life, just like an overall life right now, looks like for the Jileks, for all of you guys.
Man, it's been a really busy season.
Yeah.
Just a lot of things going on at my work, Mike's work, and then the boys in football. So we've had 3 out of 4 boys playing football. And just about as soon as you think one sport is done, it's like, oh, wait, basketball starts next week, and as soon as basketball starts, and it's baseball. And so we're just and that's just kind of like our norm. I think we just kind of get in a flow of sports, and you just know that 1 to 5 nights a week you're at a sporting event.
Yeah.
And then you just throw a toddler in the mix, and he's like full-on toddler, where it's like every moment is a fight. Like, just no, kid. Like,
Yep.
I don't know. So but it's such a good season. If anything, looking at Noah, who's 16, and Levi's 15, and I look at JJ and I'm like, it's okay. I can survive this because one day they're going to get big and I'm going to be bummed that they're about to leave. Yes. And so I have such an appreciation for the season that I'm in. So it's really a really sweet season actually for us. It's really busy.
Yeah.
And there are things that, kind of come and go. But overall, I feel like we're in a place where I can say a few yeses.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, what about you?
Busy, but good. Same. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Mason and I are kind of on this, like, precipice. Is that a word?
I don't know, but I think you want to be there. Is that that's a good place to be.
We are on the edge of, I don't know, when you can just sense, like, in your spirit that something is coming?
Yeah.
Can't really put it into words.
Like an excitement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I feel like that for us. Like, I don't know, I feel like the Lord is just really drawing us, like, back to just like each other, not that we've been apart, but like what you're going to step into is going to be something that you're going to do together.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if it involves just like time together or what, I don't know, because right now, like, and it's been good. I've spent more time with Mason just in the last, I guess, year than ever before, because we work out at the same office and I'm there with him every day. Yeah. And it's been so fun and good. And so Mason owns, with his family, his stepdad owns a plugging company in the oil gas industry. And so, I mean, we have lots of employees and do lots of different things. Mason is like a go-getter. Yeah. And so I have to just like literally buckle up and go along with him because he's such just a dreamer and a doer, and it makes it fun. And so right now we're just kind of living out something that he has just worked really hard for. Cool. And so, I'm just busy with that, but just also at the same time, like, there's just something so exciting happening with the Lord, and I don't know, like, I just feel a lot more clarity about my life, about how I'm supposed to be spending my time. Like, I know that, like, people are so important to me, and just making space to spend time with people, to care about the things that really matter, my kids, and I don't know. I just feel like the Lord is trying to just show me to simplify, to be okay with, being at home with my family and doing laundry and having supper on the table. So, and I don't know, Mason and I feel like our everyday life is super normal and super great. And, I don't know, we get excited like watching like Yellowstone premiere.
Which just came on Sunday night. Yeah, we did.
How good is that show?
So good. It was so funny. You know Beth on there?
Yeah.
She's like what every woman wishes they could walk around and be.
Literally.
I told Mike, I said, if I could afford to walk around and talk like that, I might do it. But I would be fired and likely divorced.
I know.
You know?
It's so funny. I literally walked in to the office yesterday morning to the girl that is working with us, and I said, don't you wish that you could be a little more like Beth?
Yeah.
And she's like, I think that I kind of am. I'm like, okay, I wish I could be a little more like you then. Because she is hilarious. Like, she says exactly what she wants to say.
Almost too much.
Too much. I mean, yeah. But hello. I mean, it's just so entertaining. And it's such a good show.
I know.
So, it's funny because Mason and I we spend, his number one love language is quality time. Right? So, I mean, it's like, we used to live in a 2-story house, our very first house we lived in together. Yeah. And we would, our room was upstairs. And like, if one of us had to go down and get water, he's like, why don't you just come with me? Just walk down to the kitchen with me. Hey, I'm going to go get a snack. Come with me. It's like from that to like, I mean, literally, if we're doing anything, hey, I'm working on the truck out here. Can you come out and just like hang out with me?
Yeah, we've done
just pull up a chair and talk to me. And so we watch these shows. We spend like at least an hour and a half every night in bed, just like watching TV and hanging out.
I know.
You know?
It's a funny thing that you do. I remember thinking my parents were so lame and boring when they did that every night.
That's my favorite time of the day.
Yeah. I remember my parents used to watch like Home Improvement.
I loved Home Improvement.
Right? I'm like, golly. But now here we are with our show, so I'm like, that's okay.
I know.
It's good. I think it's good.
It is good. Yeah, because I'm like, we don't even like, Mason and I are so intentional to be like, I have a show that I love the Great British Baking Show. Like, I love that show, but I would rather not watch it for weeks and watch it when I can so that him and I can have our own show that we'd watch together.
I do that with Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
That's mine.
I mean, I'm like, and he's like, this is literally the worst show in the history of ever. And I love it for whatever reason. And so.
Yeah, I get it.
But I don't know. I really would just want him to know, like, how important time is with him,
I think you have to work for that kind of life.
Yeah.
I look back on Mike and I's earlier seasons, and really I loved them all. I didn't know that I loved them all.
Yeah.
I didn't appreciate the earlier seasons like I do now, where we were just building our life and investing in the boys.
Yeah.
And it's so hard when they're little to see it as an investment until you get to reap part of that harvest. And now I'm just so, and that's why I tell, younger moms, like, that investment, it seems like nothing, but presence is just everything.
Yeah, it's true.
Presence is everything. You don't have to have the Pinterest-worthy parties in the house. And, because we sure didn't. But I just love who my kids are. And our marriage, like, we've just been through so much, but, like, it's thriving. And that's taken so much work. And I don't know. There's just, it's not something I take lightly, you know?
And I was thinking this, too. I know that when, like, great things are happening in life, like, his and my relationship is going to be the first thing that comes under attack because the enemy wants division in our home, but what's so great about honestly just like being united with a man and a partner that like is just seeking the Lord and really wants peace and wants unity it's the same with the Lord, that we can be in an argument, we can be at odds, but like it can be done in a moment. And we're done with it. Yeah, like maybe the feelings might still linger or, you're still just like processing, but like the forgiveness is immediate.
Yeah. I was looking through all my journals, for this weekend, and I can't tell you how many pages I'd go through and be like, well, Mike and I had a fight last night. So Mike and I had a fight. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Talk about that must have been my opposition back then. It was just Mike and I fighting. That probably would still be true in my journal today, but it's just funny because I know that that's true, and you just have to keep moving forward, and the good habits, keep creating those good habits and keep doing them, and they do matter. They really matter. So
and keep the communication open. Keep talking to your friends, keep talking to your spouse and your kids, and be honest. Yeah. Agreed.
Well, so I was thinking the other day about a yes that one of my very first yeses that really taught me to trust the Lord was I was at 19 and I was going to see a boy at college, and I wasn't going to tell my parents that I was going to see him because he was at 4 hours away out of college. And I'm in a little two-door Miata, right? The little convertible two-door Miata. And this is back before we had iPhones. So you didn't really have like Google Maps. You didn't have any of that stuff. Like you just had texting and phone calls. But anyway, so I'm driving down the road. I get a flat tire about halfway there from Fort Worth to Abilene. And I get a flat tire. I don't know how to change a tire. I'm 19. I've never learned. No. I still don't know how to change a tire.
I'm 28. I have no idea.
Right. So I just pull over. I get outside. I wait. Of course, some boys come and say, hey, do you need help? And I said, yes, I absolutely do. So they changed and they put one of those donut tires on my car.
Oh, like the little tiny ones?
Yes, the little tiny ones. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm a 19-year-old girl. I did not know you're not supposed to go over 55 miles an hour on a tire. So I'm like, whoo, I'm ready to go. I am hauling. I am just so close to seeing my boyfriend. I can't wait. So I get back on the highway and I'm going. I go another hour and a half. Listen, I'm 30 minutes away from my destination and I blow out the donut tire. Oh, no. And I pull over and I'm just sitting there like, what do I do now? Like, I'm out of tires. I can't call my parents because I didn't tell them I was coming.
Oh, no. I'm stressed out listening.
Right. So what do I do? Oh, and the boy I'm going to see didn't have his car because his parents didn't allow him to take. So I couldn't call him to come get me. So I sit there for a moment and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get out of the car again and see what happens. Surely somebody will come. And they did. So this man comes in this old beat-up pickup truck. He's wearing, like, rain boots, cut-off jorts, and no shirt. But I'm like, he's definitely an angel. He doesn't look like I thought he was going to look. But I'm like, God, it's you. I'm going to just go with this. I get in the car, and he's like, where are you going? I said, I'm going to Tech. So I get in the car, I go to Tech. And a couple hours later, I'm trying to get a tow truck to go out and get my car and bring it to me. And when I call them, they go out. They go all the way back to Abilene. They're like, "Ma'am, we cannot find your car." And I said, "Well, where could it be? Like, how do you miss it? It's on the side of the highway." And they're like, "Well, no, it's not there." So I finally called the police department, and they go out, and they said, "Actually, your car was run over by an 18-wheeler, and it's completely totaled, and it's been taken to the junkyard." Okay, so that taught me a really good lesson because at this point, I then had to call my dad and say, "Dad, I messed up. I need a plane ticket home. I'm also going to need you to buy me a new car, and I'm really sorry." And he did it because he's a great dad. But you know what it taught me? I do remember in the moment thinking, God, I'm just going to trust you. Yeah. I got myself into this mess. I don't know how to fix it, but I trust that you're going to go with me, and you're going to get me through this. And it was just one of those kind of moments just in my spiritual immaturity that I didn't know. But I loved it. And I loved that God just showed up for me even in that. And that was just like the first time that he protected me. And I definitely don't suggest hitchhiking at all. But that is what propelled me into saying, Lord, I'm going to say yes every time. Mm-hmm. I'm going to just trust that when you send something my way, you're going to cover it. And if I miss it, you're still going to cover it because you're just so good. Right. And I just think that's true with our families. Yeah. Like when we commit our day, God, help me to say yes. Help me to steward what I have. Like, life is not perfect, right? We talked about that. But it becomes extraordinary. Yeah. The ordinary does.
That's right. What a great story. Oh, my gosh, so Darby. Fun. That's nuts.
It's just one of them, a whole bunch.
Yeah. I believe you.
To be continued.
I do. Yeah, to be continued.
I know.
Oh, cool.
Well,
okay.
More to come as she speaks. I've got some more fun stories.
Oh my gosh.
This Saturday.
I can't
I'm
wait
excited.
She speaks on Saturday.
God's given me a good word. I'm pumped for it.
I can't wait.
So y'all be there 10 a.m. Saturday. If you haven't registered, hop on highridge.com and do it.
Church and Graham. I'm so excited.
It's going to be good.
Cool.
See ya.
See ya.